and more in the evening. It's Charlie. And when trading gets hard and support starts to lean, search Charlie. He's BTC Charlie with his linguini charting. He loses sometimes, but hardly. He's BTC Charlie. But now he's GBP Charlie. It doesn't matter what he's charting. His trading is tough, but it's not all that bad with Charlie. He's got memes in the morning and more in the evening. It's Charlie. And when trading gets hard and support starts to lean, search Charlie.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We've had some minor technical difficulties right there. Start off the stream with Boomer Charlie unplugging the mic with his foot and having to re-plug it back in. How's everyone doing? Are we enjoying this super bull bear? Wait, it's actually all going down. It's probably bearish market. Mute crypto, when does it go up? Probably a bad time to be new, brother. But we'll see. Good evening, Finn Freak. I've probably butchered your name. I'm gonna butcher some names. Mikey Vike, hello. Charles Dellinger, hello again, my friend. Ghost Charts, good evening. Mert Sengiz, hello. I thought I butchered your name as well, apologies. Jake, yeah, you're new to crypto, when's it go up? I mean, it will eventually. Kyle, merry bear market, lads. Yeah, merry bear market. Merry evening, everyone. Good evening, Murray. Fuck around, find out. Nice name. Charlie Gang Leader, good morning. So, what do we all think of this wonderful market? Show us some 10k market cap shitters. Yeah, I think that's probably the way. It's probably the way I sort of load up on 20%, 30% of the supply, and then just start pumping it on Twitter, and then what do I call it? Kind of just unload on your heads, I guess. Just literally rip it open, pull the band-aid off, and just start dumping relentlessly on your faces. Is that what we're going for? A song? Thank you. Yeah, someone on Twitter recorded that for me a while ago. It was pretty epic, really. But enough about that. Let's jump into things. So firstly, the stream is sponsored by Desync, so I'm partnered with them. They are legends, and like everything, they have got fairly crushed in this downtrending momentum, but they're holding up this 0.19 level pretty well. I've had a bag of this since here. I did shave a little bit off at one of these two extremes. I can't remember which one, but not much. And I've held the rest down to kind of down here. I'm hoping that in general markets kind of are loosely close to a bottom, particularly charts that are, printing, continuous lows at support at a decent level, like this. But it might just be a hope and a prayer at this point in time. One thing that I'll talk about throughout this stream is what is strong, and it's generally not very much. I mean, BERT is absolutely flying, which I love to see because I've round-tripped about 500,000 on that or something. So that's, that's one of those. Where's BERT? Just to kind of put things in perspective, I think BERT's a great project. I've held a fuck ton of BERT for ages, but yeah, like it's down only, right? I can't really celebrate this as a huge monumental show of strength. So yeah, general market conditions and sentiment not particularly great, but that's the kind of reclaim, assuming it can close above there, that you want to see. Good evening, Richard. How are you, my friend? I am. Yes, I've messaged you back, mate. I'm sorry. Can you please clarify if the current OI spike is shorts piling in, or is it not that simple? I'm not your person to ask on that, mate. I don't really watch order flow. If you want to learn more about order flow, go check out Trader Magus. He is an absolute legend of that kind of stuff. He will tell you all about the jujuri of OI. And whilst I loosely understand that OI is going up and funding is going down, potentially going, towards the negative region, it would imply that shorts are opening. But, shorts are opening at the lows, but price is still going down. So is it a bad thing? Are we going to get a big short squeeze off the back of it? I don't really care, about OI. What I care about is, is there relative strength in the market? Are altcoins showing that relative strength? Which, in this little rotation here, they kind of are. But kind of what's the next plays? What's the next levels for me? I mean, you've probably seen me gloat on the timeline a little bit about my 105k short or whatever it is. So somewhere up here, my Trump short from $30 and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I'm still in an ETH short. I think it's like 2.7, but it's not. It's 2.6 something. Let me just double check it. 2703. So it's not great, but yeah, it's in profit now. I literally held with a stop up here somewhere over the weekend, which I spent away for 4 days, which was lovely. A bit of time away from the market, and now come back. Show us your spaghetti. There, maybe you can have it. I will put it in the chat. Give me 1 moment, and I will bosh it in the chat for you all. You can just yoink that one, because it's easy enough to do, right? You just hit compare and add stuff in there, but it's a pain in the ass. So, oh, can hear myself. Never want to hear yourself. My own voice is not ideal, unless I'm struggling to sleep, in which case it helps a lot. Anyway, let's jump through the kind of usual reviews of Bitcoin into alts. I mean, Bitcoin looks like a big, heavy sack of shit. It's probably been rugged a million times by various different presidents. It has relatively little strength, i.e. RSI is just going down and down and down. And the reason that I shorted the other day, and I've kind of built up a couple of short positions, is one, I think Trump is going to zero. I genuinely think that coin is just giga-cucked. If you looked at the Trump NFTs and all that kind of stuff, they literally launched, had a bit of fun, and then just trended into nothing, and then did nothing until Trump launched Trump coin, and then they bounced back a little bit and then died again. I actually think they went like that, and they surpassed their former highs, but whatever. It's not great, is my point on Trump specifically. Now, do I think the same is true of the rest of the market? No, not necessarily. I think Bitcoin, this is going to be like the 15th test of support. And one thing that I kind of think of is how do I put it? Sorry, I'm just watching something else on the other screen. I've longed a little bit of Solana, which we'll talk about in a minute, just for a rotational trade. I literally did it as I was loading the stream, which is probably why I knocked my mic out as well. And yeah, there we go. Add a little bit more. So what I was saying is on Bitcoin, how many times can we keep testing support? 1, 2-ish, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The kind of 9th test of this kind of key pivot level. How many times are buyers going to be willing to step in at this price when in theory they could get it at this price or this price or this price, and it actually drop? It's going to be a big test if we can hold up here. Now, what I'm kind of hoping for slightly is if I take all my squiggles away, for me to close my short from up here, from 105k, I would have to see something, similar to this kind of price action, i.e. we sell off massively, we reclaim it very quickly, and we just go back to being slow, bullish grind, and then maybe fuck around at 100k, come back, just like slow, painful death that I don't think many people are actually prepared for. I do generally believe that there's going to be a flock back to quality at some point, but I think the majority of people, including I imagine some people in the chat, are absolutely butthurt from all the memes that they've either bag held through multiple X's up and then back down to 0, or through new quote-unquote opportunities, like the presidents of, well, the United States and Argentina's coin. There was this Adam guy's coin yesterday. There were various guises of different celebrity rugs that don't last more than a day. What's his name? Dave Portnoy. Like, all of this stuff, man. There's so much. Like, there's a lot of stuff that is just value extracting from the market. And, I don't think we're just going to massive green dildo and rally. If we did, great. I would think that's fantastic for, both short-term recovery and then a little period of euphoria as everyone trades it, to the upside again. Nobody wants to sell because they want to recover all their previous losses. And, we get a really nice trading window. But looking at charts at the moment, that just doesn't look like it's imminent, right? Feels like it's imminent, but structurally, this chart looks like it's just down only and looks like it wants to kind of break down. But we'll kind of come to that in a little bit. Come on, Charlie. We would like you to contribute and stop the selling and step up to the buying, soldier. Cheers, Ruck. I don't think so. Not yet, mate. I've taken a little long on Solana, which we'll talk about in a minute, because I kind of want to finish off my big thought process on Bitcoin, and then we'll go over to Sol. And again, this is just a little relief bounce I'm looking for, nothing more complex. No, my big shorts are not closed. I've still got all of them open. I'm mildly annoyed that I didn't short Solana, which we'll come on to. And hello, bonjour, Adnan. No, I do not do funded trading. I trade with my own funds. I love my beautiful wife and kids, or the other way around. I love my wife and my beautiful kids. Sorry, I read your name completely wrong. Dyslexic moment. Hello to him. Good evening, B-Frog. When do you think that turns around? I can't see any signs of recovery currently. Glad I used the 1 in 20 days for stops. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying, mate. And I think for me, like, I just don't see anything coming soon, because the reality is that this isn't an extreme, right? This isn't an extreme of either momentum or just in terms of like an individual. Oh god, that's horrific. Let's get rid of some of this. This isn't like an extreme of momentum, right? And even if you start going into like lower time frames, like the 4 hour, I suppose it is just into that. But it's not actually tagged, our kind of high time frame support. Like I would expect it to do something like this. It does seem to just be literally shitting the bed at this point in time. Very strong sell off. And just down only, no reversal as of yet. We've got a couple of RSI divs on like Solana, which is why I took a little bit of a long. But yeah, I largely took that, and we'll talk through that trade. Probably now actually, it's probably a good time to go. But Yeah, this is starting to slow down a little bit. You can see it from a little div across here. But does it look like it's finished? Yeah, not really. You know, it's a very squintish div across there. It's not exactly a big change in momentum. But by the way, we'll talk through Outlook. So I've been talking about desync. They've proved themselves. There you go. Two of my biggest bags that I've actually held. Up pretty well from the lows. But anyway, we'll go to Solana. So for me, like on Bitcoin, not much has changed. I still want to just interact with it at kind of these 3 levels, which I marked out. I'm not interested in trying to interact with it at any other levels, purely because I don't see any reason to. I'm not going to play the front run of this and assume that we're in a super bullish uptrend, because we are in a downtrend. I'm not going to try and knife catch this change of momentum without something significant to give me that indication that that's going to be the case. Would I long potentially on a reclaim of like, I'm just going to delete that because it's a bit messy. Would I potentially long on a reclaim of, I really want TradingView to just implement the, what's it called? Delete all brush feature that I requested about 4 million times, but they don't seem to want to do it. Could I be tempted with like a long on a reclaim of this? Yeah, absolutely, because structurally, I think we're looking at like low time frame ranging price action. It depends how aggressive you want to go with it, maybe sort of scaling. Had a kind of capitulation sell off. If we start grinding up and start reclaiming this range here, then I can start going, well, actually, we've broken this kind of downtrending market. We've broken this meme diagonal. We've consolidated for a while. We tried to sell off dramatically. We couldn't even take out the previous lows. We've swept all of these now. So all of these have been swept. And now, if we start moving upwards, then that's going to be a nice rotational play. Again, I'm not in this for huge amounts. I'm just going to play it to like 99, maybe up to here like 102. And if I was super aggressive, I'd be playing up to where I essentially shorted from. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it'll probably do something like this and then go back down and then fuck around, right? But that's when I start getting like, well, if we can break out of this sell-off and we can start moving up, then I can start scaling in and I can at least go for some alt rotations. And if I really wanted to play Bitcoin, that would be where I'd play it. And anything else is going to be, I don't want to short the breakdown of this. I actually wanted to short a deviation and a failed breakout essentially of this like 99k level, 100k, because everyone tweets, oh, hey, 100k again, and then it sells off. And then what I would have done is I'd averaged my short down to about 102. The logic being that it's just up beyond this, and I could have got bigger size, and my expectation was that would have just been a little squeeze, and hopefully it would sell off and continue going. But right now, I don't want to. I'll get bearish again here in terms of like that's where I'd potentially add. I will play a long rotation there or wait for a sell-off, reclaim all along that. If we just sell off from here, I'm probably not going to be chasing that, right? They're kind of where I want to do business. And I think that's all that I can really decide at this point in time. Especially for BTC, because it's just, there's nothing else for me to trade on it. So I'll leave that one there because I think it's important that I just say that I'm not currently looking to do anything else on Bitcoin. There's nothing apart from at those levels for me to interact with. So Salami, where is Salami? So Sala's taken an absolute fucking beating today. You can probably see my logic across these lows and across the fact that there's a div on AO, there's a div on RSI. This looks like it's kind of slowing down, but the real thing that gave me a bit of confidence to long it, and I don't know if this is going to work out or not, right? I'm literally in something like this. We might end up extending and going for like a triple divergence, but it's the fact that as we sold off, like the things that have done really badly have been Sol related memes. They've got absolutely battered. So Popcat, Mog, Altcoin, like anything on Solana and particularly over like the last few days, ever since Solana kind of started dropping, it's been sol memes. And the thing about beta is it works both ways. So when the market sells off and you have a very high beta meme or high beta anything, asset, it sells off massively. However, the same works typically in reverse, which is as the market picks up, yours, flies with it. So I'm thinking that, whilst I don't want to necessarily jump into Farcoin, Popcat, all that kind of stuff, Solana has been one of the worst performers of the day, especially from like a layer 1 perspective and a tier 1 coin that we should get a decent squeeze out of it. Now, whether I get 8% out of it, who knows? I'll probably just end up playing it as a simple kind of rotation if we get it, and if we break like an EMA structure essentially on it, I'll just close it, right? I'm only looking for a little bit. It's not looking great so far, to be blunt, especially because we've actually got a bit of a recovery on alts, not wild. I'm talking a couple of percent, but there's a little bit of strength on alts, whilst Bitcoin is minus 1% in the same time frame. So that's starting to be a bit odd in terms of risk on altcoins whilst Bitcoin is falling. That's not too usual, but we'll give it a go. But hopefully you see my thought process at least. I might just end up cutting it, live, but I have got to stop down here somewhere. This isn't like to the penny, right? But yeah, that's my thought process at the moment on Salami. So yeah, we've done the when do you think it'll turn around question. Memeing having a lot of fun short on the Ponzi today, long till 96.5 and then flip short. Nice. Man's over trading. Love to see it in these conditions. W. Good time to filter strong horses from the weaker ones. I don't think it matters, to be blunt, too much, because there's not huge amounts of strong horses, right? The strong horses seem to be the ones that are just shitting the bed the least. So it's not a case of, wow, I've picked the outperformer and I made 20% today instead of 5%. Incredible work. I didn't lose 20%, I lost 5%. That is current outperformance. XRP not as bad as others. Yeah, there's a few not as bad as others. So like OM is a good example. OM absolutely. I mean, I massively underestimated OM. That was the trade in the Paragon, which was 33% or whatever, and was just literally walked up, fuck all, and then walked up again. Absolutely mental. Like, just weirdest PA I've seen in a long time. But yeah, there are a few outperformers, is my point, or a few exceptions that seem to be doing like okay. And this was the thought process earlier of if you want a long OM on this rotation. Yeah, I missed this trade, to be honest, but like literally I said this will be the kind of consolidation, and what you want to see is a break of that diagonal on relative strength, and you can get a trade out of that for the next leg. It's essentially just a leg up, range, try and deviate down, reclaim the range and go. That's a kind of classic pattern for strong trending altcoins. But I mean, I can chart, but I kind of covered it at the start of the stream, which was but because I tweeted a fuck ton about it before, I kind of feel a moral obligation to do it. I like BERT. I have a big bag of it that I've round tripped a fuck ton of money on. I don't, that was always my gamble with it. I bought it. Actually, I'm probably about break even on it at 10 cents, I guess. Maybe not. Maybe I think my average might have been like 11 mil market cap, but whatever. This is where you want to start seeing strength. You want to start seeing like you've had the huge sell-off, you've got a bit of ranging. Hopefully you can reclaim, and hopefully we can just consolidate. And this is like a similar pattern for a lot of memes and a lot of projects and a lot of stuff. Like I'm kind of hoping that this type of structure here is the capitulation, and that's the kind of local bottom. Now, do I think that just means we go like this? Absolutely fucking not. Like, I don't think the risk appetite is there, but I think if we can consolidate for a period of time, which will probably drive most people insane, and again, this isn't just Bert, this is like general market, that eventually we break out of it and we have another risk on rally, whether that's in 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, I don't know. But I think a lot of these projects will, or not a lot of them, I think some of them will come back, is what I should say. Thoughts on Fartcoin? I traded Fartcoin for a little bit, but as soon as the beta died on it and it just started shitting the bed, no pun intended, I kind of gave up with it, to be honest. But yeah, that is pretty horrendous. It's pretty horrendous. Because this is the thing, right? And this is probably a really good example of when you're looking at, alts. And I did this with FWOC, actually. I bought it at 0.5 and sold it at 0.4. So I sold it like the equivalent of there, right? And I was like, I'm a fucking idiot. I got like sucked into the FOMO, basically, and just bought a bag. I took that loss. And then I was like, well, maybe I'll buy in again at some point. But the entire market shit the bed, and it's basically the same chart, right? It would have been down like 86% instead of like, I don't know. I think I actually got out of like 6% loss or something. But that's fine. Like, that happens. That's the risk I was happy to take, blah blah. But the illustration that I wanted to make was, it goes down 60% or whatever, and then it goes down 60% again. So, if you've put in 10k here, you lose, 6.8k. You put in another 10k here, you lose 6 point something k. Like, alts can just keep going down further and further and further beyond your expectation. Come on, shut off, please. Look, I don't want people getting, too distracted from the market. I don't want people have already got reasons to be upset, right? They've probably lost money in this market. They can't be looking at this fine specimen of a human being and then feeling bad about themselves on top of losing money in crypto. Come on. Yeah, my point being is some of these coins will just literally trend to zero. And this is why relative strength is such a godsend. Because you play rotations and you look for the strong coins on a rotation, but god damn, like, am I trying to stay in these coins for a long time? Like, no. Not unless, like, along Sol. If Sol started going like this, I'd be going, yeah, fuck me, that looks like a bottom. But the entire market is doing fuck all right now. It is just going, might have a little bit of life for me. Nah, fuck that. And then it'll go, maybe a little bit of life. Nah, fuck that. Like, it's just so weak. There's no continuation. Not really. Like, yes, you have to play some rotations at some point. Yes, you have to participate at some point. But thinking every single rotation is going to be a generational bottom is a surefire way to get fucking wrecked. Anyway. Lum with a U? I'm not in that, mate. SC did speak to me about Lum, and he said about it, and I never bought a bag. I'm guessing. Holy shit, is that it? That can't be it, surely. That is one of the fucking worst charts I've ever seen in my life. Holy shit. Surely that's not it, brother. Surely that's not it. It's 26% down. I wouldn't have looked at this chart and thought it could go down 26%. Do you know what I mean? Like, this, what the fuck? Hang on, I got something for this.
You're down 95%. Have you ever considered selling?
No, I can't. That's no.
God. I mean, this isn't the start of the chart, right? Because I remember it fucking flew to start off with. Like, it absolutely flew. Because I got massive FOMO. Like, I remember thinking I should buy it. I think I was gonna buy it at $75. I actually bridged funds to base, if this is the same one. I'm like 99% sure that this isn't the actual chart. Let's have a peep. Luminous. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I remember looking at this. I bridged some funds over the base, like around here. But it's like any like these AI coins, right? Or whatever this was. They just flew. And then no one gave a flying fuck about them a couple of months later. There's so many charts that look like this, or look like this, and then go and then fucking died again. Like, everything's fucked. But it's a great example of a chart. Because I remember feeling so much FOMO way back here. I was just too lazy to fucking buy it, to be honest. I was waiting for a dip. And then when the dip came, I was like, I think it was Christmas. And I was like, yeah, it was build up to Christmas. And I was like, nah, I can't jump in. But yeah, I just, this is the thing about all these on-chain altcoins, right? Like, they are high risk, but they are high fucking reward. Like, look at this shit. Look at this shit, brother. Fucking 50x in a couple of days. It's the same with Bert. Like, Bert flew, like, what was it? Like, 200x in a day or something stupid? Like, it was fucking mental. Absolutely wild. I'm hoping to wake up one day and Bert's just sat at $1. Yeah, what was this day back here? Bearing in mind this is a 12-hour chart. Yo, Bosh. Literally went like 120x in a few fucking hours. Absolutely wild. Yeah, it looks like shit now. But low time frame, it looks good. And this is the thing, is if you play with fire, you get fucking burnt, right? Like, if you step into the wild west of investing and you step into the casino with this kind of stuff, you can make life-changing gains in very small amounts of time. I'll show you where I bought fucking Fred, the first convicted rack-on, because they have spelt it wrong. And it was majorly infuriating that they spelled it wrong. But I bought Fred. Probably find one of my wallets if you can be asked. I'm not sure there's much interesting in it other than cashing out Fred. But I bought Fred basically in this. Here. Somewhere down here. And then within a couple of days, no, within 24 hours, it ran like 200x. And then within another 24 hours, bearing in mind this is a 1 hour fucking chart, it had gone down 92%. Yeah, here we go. Oh, I see he's in the chat. Hello, brother. We were just talking big lum. You rode it from 5 to 75 round trip to back down. So all the way up to 75 and then round it back down. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. But this is it. It's like this is what people don't realize, is that like everyone goes, oh, you're dumping on our heads. It's like I've round tripped so much money on Bert, like, because I'm just a believer. There are bags that I want a community hold. And that's fine, right? And I took the risk. Other people have taken the risk and they've not been happy with it. I had some guy who sold it on the day it went like minus 90%. He literally sold the bottom. He showed me the transaction. I was like, you know, brother, like, what did you want? A fucking refund? Like, I didn't dump on your heads. I lost money too. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, but people play these games and never expect to lose. Got on Dex? Yeah. We get the stream. Yeah, when we get the stream, Missy. Come on. Do you think with Popcat ETC trade to zero, potentially reclaim all-time highs again if Bitcoin DOM starts declining? Like, I've said this for ages. I want to see a risk on rotation to memes. I want to see it, but it's not fucking there. I can't make the market bend it to my will. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd love to see it. I don't think memes are dead. I think memes are literally risk incarnate, right? They're the most retarded things because they've got no value. They are just, do you like the look of that dog? Do you think fart coin's a funny meme? You know, do you like that dog? Is it doing stuff? I mean, it's dead now, but you know, it had a load of stuff going on with it. The project's got the IP rights, all that kind of stuff. Do you like penguins? Do you like a hippo? Like, it's fucking retarded. Like, why is a hippo worth $100 million? It's fucking not, right? It's the proxy of financial risk, and to say that memes aren't ever going to come back is basically saying that risk is never going to come back into the crypto market, which is just absurd. It's going to come back at some point. Yeah, it was up 800k on Lum, back down to 18k. That was a fucking wild trip. But yeah, we've all had them, mate. Like, it's just one of those, isn't it? Can we cover Jump or Hype? Would be very grateful. Yeah, I can do. Later this week, got a few stuff to sort. Yeah, make sure you're all subbed to SC's YouTube. I mean, I'm sure you already are. But yeah, let's cover Hype. Did I close my shorts? Nah, I've not closed them yet, mate. I'll keep them open. So, I kind of covered Hype this morning in my Outlook, which was... I didn't actually think of short in this, to be honest. I didn't want to fade like one of the kind of in play / talked about, you know, big talked about narratives. But I did see this. I did see the EVM announcement, because I was up at 6 o'clock this morning, bizarrely, and I saw the fact that it just got fucking faded and sold into. And you know, these things in bullish conditions would have probably like 2x the chart instantly. Like, everyone would have got super hyped about it all, and you know, it would have just continued and carried on. But in these conditions at the moment, like, news is just being absorbed into the charts. It just goes bang, news traders get out, everyone fucking sells, and like this here, you know, it goes literally under the origination of the kind of news post. What made me really not want to long it is when it bounced like this. Short it was when it bounced like that afterwards. Because I was looking at it up here, and then I was like, maybe if we get a sort of sell off into a bounce, and then I can go again. But yeah, the bounce from down here was actually reasonably strong while the rest of the market was dying off. But yeah, I looked at this, thought maybe I should fade it, and then thought, nah, Hype's pretty strong. And in theory, on a higher time frame, you know, I've wanted to long it for a while. I did long it back here, wherever it was. I longed it somewhere. I think it might have been here, and then longed it, and then closed it like literally like here, basically when we dropped structure, and then obviously retraced it all, because I wanted to play a breakout of like a high time frame level, but didn't get it. Didn't get it at all. No, I've not closed all my shorts, mate. I've just left them open. Like, I don't really see a point in closing them just yet until we get some strength in the market. Greetings, fellow Brits. Hello, HCD. Hello, hello, hello. Sorry. Saw something. There we go. So, do I think Hype is super bullish? No, not really. It looks a bit shite here, in terms of like that was probably the breakout attempt and absolutely failed. But is it one of the better alts in terms of how it's holding up? Yeah, it is. You know, it's consolidating in a range ultimately. Is it a good product? Seems to be getting volume, seems to be getting market share, seems to be getting, you know, mindset and all that kind of stuff. So it's not like I don't want a bag. It's just I don't want a bag like in these conditions necessarily. I don't want to just bag hold stuff that I'm not happy with. Like I say, I've got a big bag of BERT, I've got a big bag of Desync, I've got plenty of other bags like Sage, which is a low, you know, absolute low cap. Probably got about $10 a daily volume today. You know, I've got a decent bag of this, you know, 3 million, 13k volume, but these are bags that I'm happy to hold. And the biggest mistake that people make with all this stuff, as I always fucking say, is my risk is 100% of my bag size. I am willing to risk it all, right? I don't care if it goes to fucking zero. I don't care, if it just diddles here at 3 million for the rest of its fucking life. Don't care. I'm betting with money I can afford to lose. And cheers, SC, for saying everyone liked the video. Yeah, it does help. It does help with the algo. It does help with my dopamine as well. But like, all these low caps are always money that you can afford to lose, right? If you want to be 100% risk free, like this is nice. Go trade up Bitcoin. But up 7%. Yeah, Giga Chad dog. The worst part of the cycle is the grifter influencers shitting the meme garbage with deals on the side. Brilliant. Well, I mean, this is the thing about the whole space, is that the norm is presidents rugging us now. That's the norm. We've had 2 presidents rug us. Beautiful. What was the other bag you want me to look at? It's JTO or something. Jup. So, Hype is in a nice little consolidation period. Jup is, I suppose it's still in quite a nice high time frame range. Bop. Bop. But Hype does look better. I mean, again, if you get a reclaim here, and you just get something simple like that, then great, play it to the range highs. But for now, like, I don't want to be trying to catch this downtrending price action. I just don't. You're an unapologetic degen? Yeah, I am. Like, I just don't give a fuck. Like, I don't get it. Like, I nearly put Fred on the timeline, right? It was 100k market cap, ran to 250 or 300 mil. At that point, like, nobody was really talking about low caps, and everyone who did was like a scammer and all this kind of stuff, and you were like, you were basically fucking hated for doing it. I mean, SC was talking about like low caps. He called so many good low caps, like literally from ridiculously low market caps, and then you get such a bad reputation, and it's like, I was just not ready to deal with that shit, because I was like, what's the fucking point? If it rugs, I got no supply control, I don't know the fucking team, I don't know these Fred cunts from anybody. But someone DM'd me and said, like, check this out, if Peanut runs, this will run too. So I fucking bought a bag. You know what I mean? If I'd have put that on the timeline, here you go, boys, here's another 250,000x like SHIB. I couldn't be asked with the crybabies. That's the reality of it, And all of this is not financial advice, blah, blah, blah. Should probably do the disclosure. But, yeah, it's not worth the headache. Long Trump? Nah, I'm not long Trump, mate. I'm not long in Trump, because Trump's going to zero. Zero. But yeah, that's all of that side of stuff. It's such a fucking casino. And as the space gets more diluted, as more stuff happens, you are going to struggle to find those outperformers, because there's going to be less of them. And when they do happen, you don't know how supply controlled they are or aren't. So, it's tough. But even like, legitimate exchanges like Binance are just going after volume these days. So it's actually tough for the legit projects. So, yeah. I'm the UK, mate. Bird flu because of the bullshit shilling like the rest. Yeah, of course it did. People were shilling it for fucking ages, and then it just like ripped in a day. It's just wild, man, how fucking stupid you are. Unbelievable. Just like, yeah, we can all move a fucking $100 million market cap coin and, get hundreds of thousands, or probably millions of dollars in like that day. Whatever day it was. You gotta remember that most of the people shilling Bert, right, were shilling it for fucking ages. when it was like 2 million market cap. This is obviously like a different pool or whatever. I don't know why it's not. I don't know why it's not gone back. Oh, it's showing it for fucking time. And then I'm probably gone on the wrong one again. There were loads of people shilling it in here. And then literally one day it just goes fucking astronomical. It just flies. But whatever. Other than Bert, what microcaps are you in? So but I wouldn't know, Bert's not really a microcap, I mean it's 10 billion I guess. Sage is one. Sage is one that I've got a pretty big position in. I'm trying to think what else. I'll answer some other questions in a minute. I probably need to go and check. I've got loads of like low caps. I've got some low caps that are like new, that have basically launched that I invested in maybe a month, 3 months, 5 months ago, something like that. My concept of time is terrible because a week in crypto can be a month. So I got fucking no idea. But I assume it was all before Christmas actually, because I haven't really invested in much since Christmas. But yeah, I've got loads of things. I'm just trying to think of them. But because I keep them all as like binary bets, what I try and do is zone out from them a little bit. Especially in like these conditions, right? Where everything's kind of going down. I think the thing for me is, if I start seeing them on the timeline, that's usually a really good sign that some of my bags are picking up. And, I did it years ago. The one that I remember actually quite vividly in terms of, like, how do I put it? Buying a bag, forgetting it even existed, and then going, oh, fuck, I've actually got a bag of this, is Conan the dog. You might have seen me tweet about this one, actually, because I did tweet about this one. Is it this one underneath? Yeah, it's this one. Because I tweeted about this, like, down here somewhere, and then it rallied, died off, everyone fucking cried, and then it literally rallied again. Yeah, this JJDP guy's just, I guess he got burnt. Guess he lost some money. Yeah, burnt flew hard because it was the New York Times writing about it on its front page. And that was like in the middle of meme season when all the memes just fucking exploded. Like, yeah, pretty wild. But yes, it's because we shilled it. Of course. Of course, it's because we bought a bag and shilled it. Are there any coins that have recovered after being down 90%? Yeah, I mean, I've literally just like given you one. This went down 90%. 90%. Oh, bosh. I went down 90%. Let's zoom into that. 90%. Right. Fred, the coin that I had a huge percent of the supply, went down 90%, which we ran through. It went down 92% from that high down there. And then it rallied from that level. Another like 200x basically. So has it happened? Yes. Will it happen again? Yes. Like, do I think that my bags are gonna do it? Yes, that's why I fucking hold them. Do I think your bags are gonna do it? No, not if they're not my bags. That's because I'm biased. It's called positional bias, right? And I hold those bags for a reason. Stuff like Peanut. Like, I caught the Coinbase listing over here. Thank God I took some fucking profits up there, otherwise I'd have been absolutely fucked and round tripped the whole thing. Right, let's go back to a couple of questions. No, I'm not like Trump. Unapologetic degen. Yep. Can I talk about Paragon stuff? Like, is it suitable for beginners and all that stuff? I mean, if you can like understand what a chart is, like we don't have the education that says, this is a chart, this is how you open TradingView. But what we do have is this is price action, this is RSI, this is what it means, this is how you create a trading system, these are the fundamentals of markets, this is psychology, this is how you create a trading manual, this is how you evaluate your strategies. Magus has got loads of stuff on like order flow, and if you're into that kind of thing, like the depth of he does some DOM stuff. He does all the kind of CVD, OI, perp premiums, futures, backwardation, contango, all that kind of stuff, like the more complex side of it, I guess. I draw lines on charts and look at spaghetti predominantly. Doc looks at some EMAs and uses market structure in a lot of his videos and is much more kind of higher time frame, like 4-hour focused. So, Doc does well in a ranging market, but he absolutely crushes a trending market. So, and it's much, I think his system's very easy for somebody coming in at like an entry level and going, okay, well, I don't really understand like trading / the market. Maybe if I can get a couple of lines to kind of tell me roughly where I'm wrong, then great. That's far easier, I think, than some of Magus's stuff, which often involves a little bit more mental capacity. But both of them are great in terms of both their content and the structure of their education. And it really depends on how seriously you want to take stuff. Like, all three of us are perp / spot traders. We're not on-chain traders necessarily. Like, I dabble on-chain. I love fucking dabbling on-chain. I did NFTs, 4 or 5 years ago? I put relatively small amounts of money into NFTs. I came out with, multiple 1000x return. So it was very rewarding. The same reason that I still dabble in low caps is that you fuck 5 or 6 up, and then you get one that absolutely rips and just sends your portfolio into the stratosphere. So, I'm not going to profess to be an on-chain trader by any stretch of the imagination, but I definitely am in the trenches and I dabble. But that's not what I teach, because I'm not good at it, right? I'm not like, I'm a good altcoin trader. I'm a good Bitcoin trader. I know what I'm doing. I've done it for years and years and years. I've got a good edge on both of those. But on chain, I buy stuff that I kind of like. I share some of them in the group, but that's not my niche. Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't advertise that as a reason to join. Taking a step back from meme coins, new as a proper sketch. Yeah, that's true. It is. Fog had a nice week today. Yeah. I think with Fog, it's one of those things where it's kind of similar, but if you look at like what is bouncing, you really want stuff to bounce now. Like, this is what's going to recover quickest, in my opinion, right? Like, you want it to be showing some strength, and it's not really showing some strength. SC, can you lend me a $5, mate? Just reading the chat. Talking bad about Bert in front of SC is a bad idea. Yeah, I mean, he was chilling it at like 100k. Well, I don't know, maybe not 100k. Maybe it was like 1 million or 2 million or something, like way back in this kind of consolidation. Like, I know this is a different chart, but it was like way back fucking here. So anyone who didn't make money out of it is just a salty bumhole, do you know what I mean? What extreme guys come on smoke? What? Oh. He's not taking anything with bags, needs to know to take the gains, sell and take gains. Yeah. I think that's the thing, is like, a lot of people are probably round trip, they're probably hurting, probably lashing out because this is their first cycle and they've got fucked. And then you learn, simple EMAs and stuff would have saved you from losing a lot of money. Even like, I'm trying to think. I've got one somewhere. Which one is it? I feel like a fucking nan now. I don't know why it does this. Trading view is so shit. It's like all of these are legitimate things, legitimate indicators, but none of them seem to work. Got the old Trendmaster. Even if you were sort of doing this, I don't know why it's got a fuck ton of signals, but you can clearly see that like you're hugging trend, and then it completely flips. I don't know why it's the wrong way around in terms of color scheme, but whatever. That's this one that I was actually looking for. If you whack an EMA on, I think I've done it. I've reset it. But even if you did it like 25, you could have held this for a long time. Not necessarily sold the top, but sell a retest or sell it going under, you'd have caught the meat of the move and you wouldn't have eaten dick in this massive drawdown. SC coming in with a wallet. Check SC's wallet. Should we throw up and see how many countries' net worth's in there? Oh, it's only a tenner. But no, the sole position that I mentioned at the start of the stream has gone into a tiny bit of green. So I'm going to take that 100% win rate live. Hooray. What a fucking champion. What a god amongst men. We've shaved 1% out of the market. No, not even 1%, but we'll call it 1%. Yeah, hopefully this is the start of something good. But we will see. This might just be a generational round trip. What part of the side do you think we're at? My honest answer is, I want to see risk on again. Sorry, I don't know why that's gone blick. I want to see risk on again. I find it really bizarre that we're in the situation that we're in, i.e., Bitcoin is just consolidating. You know, those squiggles were from, if you take this period of consolidation and compare it to this one, you know, this one took like Trump becoming president to break us out. You know, my real question at the moment is what's going to kind of break us out to the upside of this? Because I think I know what's going to break us to the downside, which is more value extraction and people getting bored, right? More people get bored, more value extraction, blah, blah, blah. Money just goes out. People feel like they can't make money here, so they just fuck off, you know. There were so many projects up here launching, doing stuff, trying to get everywhere. You know, new coins every single day, millions and millions of them. And now it's kind of teetering off the other way where no one can be asked because it's difficult. No one wants to kind of launch or market in these kind of conditions. So that in and of itself kind of creates the boredom, creates the lack of wanting to interact, lack of wanting to deploy funds. And then, you know, by the nature of time, you just get bored and people start selling it and cashing up. And then, you know, you create that kind of cascade down. So I can see that. I can't really see this unless a good theory that Bourne mentioned to me actually yesterday was what if Elon goes in and finds there's no gold in Fort Knox, or there's not the amount that they said that there was, then that's going to be a really interesting situation where actually the case for Bitcoin becomes very apparent because Bitcoin is, you know, 100% traceable on the ledger, on the public blockchain. Like, that could be the thing that tips the iceberg in terms of strategic Bitcoin reserve, and that might be the next leg. But it is ironic that I believe Elon Musk is Satoshi, and he is now auditing the US's reserves of gold. That is quite comical to me. Check chart, lol, probably same as others though. Yeah, probably just dead. Can you break down the last trade that you took? I mean, we literally did that at the start of the stream, mate. The last trade I took was a little so long, and I explained my rationale. But this is a rotational trade, and it looks like it's just going to round trip itself, to be honest. The reason that I say that is because this price action is a little bit janky. Oh, maybe not. Like, what I'm looking at now is like this range here, right? So we've sold off, we took this low, we're now coming back in. Like, that there, I would expect to hold. But I didn't think it was going to off this candle. I was like, oh, this looks like it's just going to reject and go down. Not that I want to micromanage this at all, right? I'm not going to try and micromanage this, but in these types of divergences, you want to play out reasonably strong, like this, right? So it would have been a little div going across here, even though it's not at an extreme. Yeah. That's how you kind of want it to play out, and so far, this is not doing that. Missing gold will crash the market, and we'll see, and then we'll see all-time highs. Yeah, it'd be a massive blow to every market around the world. Crazy uncertainty. Yes, it would be absolutely mental. But in terms of what part of the cycle do I think we're at, let's do it a different way. What part of the cycle do you guys think that we're at? Let me just do this. Let me bring it up. So yeah, they've circled hope. That's not where I think we are. Where do you guys think we are on this? Panic. Yeah. Looking at alts, anger. Yeah, I mean, you can differentiate your answer if you want between alts and Bitcoin. Denial. Anxiety or hope? That's quite anxiety or hope. Are you saying that hope is Bitcoin, or because they're quite different, mate? They're like opposite ends of the scale. Complacency. Ooh. Bitcoin optimism, alts depression. Wow. Anxiety, denial. Yeah, there's quite a mixed bag then. I wouldn't say there's consensus. What happens after disbelief? Do we start back at the beginning? Yeah. I love how all the answers are different. Tells you about bias. Yeah. Broke. Sorry, Bob. I'm not laughing at you. I'll go with belief thrill. Bitcoin is not done. Yeah, okay. I where are we in terms of cycle? Like I don't like this chart particularly for any other reason than engagement. And it's really good to assess your own personal biases against it in some ways, though, because if you're feeling like, I'm a genius, we're all going to be rich, this is it, I can just retire off this forever and I'm done, and I'll just keep redeploying this money into the new altcoin of the week, and it'll go up every time, and this is the easiest thing ever. And then you start taking on more risk, and you want to take on more risk, and as the cycle goes on, you get exponentially more risk on. That only ends one way, and we all know that. So it's good to kind of use to assess how you feel against. But in terms of like this market in particular, I really struggle, because I think, like a lot of people have said, that Bitcoin is probably in one place and altcoins are almost certainly in another. Right? I think altcoins are somewhere down here. Right? I think a lot of people are kind of in this denial stage where they're kind of like, well, and even to an extent I am, right? Because I was talking about some of my low caps that are down 80% from the highs, and I'm going, well, it's fine, they'll come back, or I'll just hold them, and it's not a problem. And then, another 50% down from there, from the current price, obviously, I'll be like, oh shit, maybe I'll just get out for something over nothing. I don't really feel anger anymore, like it's all my choice, I'm not that retarded. But do you know what I mean? Like, you can see everything's going. Charlie just had the reach people laugh. What? The reach people? I don't understand. Yeah, I just think like alts are probably somewhere down here. I don't think we're gonna get that alt season that everyone completely wants. I think we have a long period of ranging afterwards, and then I think we go again. We go for this disbelief. It's all failed, and then we go, oh, actually hope, recovery is possible, blah blah blah, and we have another cycle, because it's all fear and greed. That's all crypto is. The vast majority of it. The thing that I think sends alts from here to here is Bitcoin losing the range. If Bitcoin loses the range, like if Bitcoin just dies from this range here, and particularly this like 91k level, like I think alts will just literally shit the bed, and then that will be that everyone's selling, so I need to get out kind of phase, and that is capitulation on altcoins, and then it just dies a slow, low volatility, painful death. Does this graph have any correlation with crime level? I don't think so. But yeah, the crime side of things makes me think we're kind of up here. But for Bitcoin, I mean, we're somewhere here. I don't know where. Like I said to you earlier, I don't know what the next leg up will be on Bitcoin. I think the only narrative that makes sense is the whole gold thing, but the way the chart's looking, you know, it looks more like here complacency than anywhere else to me. Cycle seems different. I think it actually is different. And I know that that's the meme. Right, you're saying yeah, Wall Street, which yeah, now. What do I think about XRP? I mean, XRP is reasonably strong. But has this graph ever been correct, like for a previous cycle? Yeah. So me and XO shorted alts on this complacency bounce. There was something called alt perp on FTX, and we both took it way back in 2021, and it was just like the Pico top. It was literally this chart. I don't even think it exists anymore because it was nah, but it was. I might even still have the. Let's see if I've got it. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, this is a blast from the past. Look at this. Oh, I copy this. Let's see. Pasted it there. See if I can open this. Sorry, I'm being a complete boomer. So let's try and do it this way. I don't know why it's pasting it as like a fucking. Oh, I don't know, piece of shit. Sorry, it's really annoying me. Basically, there's a chart with the altcoin, the entire altcoin perp market on like a chart that looks like this. Whoop. And then it goes like that, and it's there. And it's not perfect in terms of the Wall Street cheat sheet, but that's where we shorted it, and that was in May 2021. So it's great. Don't all markets top on euphoria? Feels like that makes sense. Yeah, and it does, right? Because everyone just wants to hold, and then as soon as people start selling, everyone goes, "Oh shit, what?" And like literally, you can feel it. You can see it in the charts. You can see it like with these kind of things. Like, look, there's nobody selling into that. There's literally nobody. Like that's euphoria. That's euphoria in an isolated chart. Yeah. Potentially just one meme coin out of thousands, but you know nobody's selling that. As soon as it started moving and ripping, it just ripped. Like 14x in a day. Like nobody's fucking selling that. Hearing a lot about the 4-year cycle being broken, what do you think? Yeah, I think so. I think it's naive to think it's just going to repeat again and again and again until ad infinitum. You know, it's pretty dumb if you ask me. But if it works out again, then it's the easiest trade of a lifetime. But I don't think it's that simple. I think things have got a lot more complicated for Bitcoin and crypto in general. Many risk-on cycles, this bull market with quick rotations, people more exhausted than during bear. Yeah, that's because you've actually got, right? And I keep going back to this illustration that I feel like I've said on every stream. This is the last couple of years on Pepe chart, right? Well, this is nearly, like, this is 2 years. You've basically had 20 days, 38 days, 30 days to capture the real volatility. Yeah? So you've had like 88 days out of the last, 730 or something. So when you work that out and you go, that's just over 10% of your time, you've had some major risk on conditions. So you're here, sat here waiting for 10% of a year or of a 2-year period to be really risk on. Right? That's what you're actually playing for. Yeah, I don't think it will ever be easy again. You're going to be forced to become a good trader to survive. Kind of. I mean, I think that there's going to be a big fluctuation into people wanting to be perp traders again, just trading on volatility because they've just got raped in the trenches, to put it brutally. They're tired of losing their money. They want to go back to the slow grind upwards and actually learn a skill and actually learn to manage their risk. Otherwise, the market will manage it for them. So I can see that happening. But I also think that there will be periods of major risk on as well. So, if you didn't make it this cycle, I'd probably say still stick around because there will always be opportunities in crypto to make it more than a normal 9 to 5 or, pretty much any other area of life unless you've got a really good skill set in something else. Would be my guess, right? Not financial advice, do your own research, etc. It's never going to be, well, every cycle is going to get harder, right? Every cycle will get harder because more and more people, more and more smarter participants will come to this market with better tools than you, with more experience than you, with more time trading than you, with more advanced tools, with more wider circles of influence that can help each other out and accelerate that learning journey. What's your core advice for a beginner be? Take it seriously. Invest what you can afford to lose, which is, a meme. Learn to manage risk. It's probably one of the biggest things. In times like this, especially, it's about surviving, not about thriving. It's just about, I've taken 5 or 6 trades this year. Maybe I've taken a bit more. I've taken about 20, I suppose. But it's not been many. I could take 20 trades in a day. In proper risk on conditions. Do I think crypto is dead and over? No. Do I think it's dead and over for now? Yeah, I do. I think it's pretty fucked for now, to be honest. But we'll see. Like I'm kind of sat here waiting every day for when it gets better, because it will get better, and then everyone will return and think that it's the easiest thing, the greatest thing since sliced bread. So yeah, don't give up, I guess. Take it seriously, learn from your mistakes, journal, meet people, get a network, share your ideas. Don't be afraid of being wrong. You're going to be wrong a lot. Yeah, kind of all standard stuff. Treat it like a business. Yeah. I've said that. That's why I did like I did a big business plan and wrote down sort of how I want to allocate my money, what I need to do if a portfolio or a strategy exceeds another one, how much money I keep on exchanges, how much money I don't keep on exchanges when I cash out, all that kind of stuff, right? How I do things to optimize tax efficiency a little bit. Think about it. Think about every 1%, because it's the easiest way you can save money. Even if it's like, how do I save 10% on my trading fees? Is it worth me upping my volume to get to the next tier? Is it worth me doing X, Y, and Z, or just when I cash Bitcoin out, sending it to my exchange and doing it on the exchange? There's loads of little things that you can just improve by a teeny tiny amount. I think if you do those and compound it up over time, then yeah, That's it. But network is a huge, huge one as well. Like, I've learned a lot from people like SC and XO and stuff. A lot, a lot, a lot. So yeah. Yeah, on that bombshell, I think I'm gonna call it because there's not too much to go over. Like, there's lots of the alts that are looking pretty dead. Obviously BNB had a nice run. Probably over now that CZ's had a go at shifting money to Binance Smart Chain and kind of failed. I feel a bit tired, bizarrely. As you can probably tell from the fact I'm yawning. Um, it's still running. Happy days. I think I'm at break even now. Way, let's go. But yeah, I'm gonna hold this soul long for a little bit, see what happens with it. I'm not gonna be super active, trading everything here, there, and everywhere. You know, my point is be selective with your trades. Try and focus on building during these times or learning. You know, shout out and shield to the Paragon group. If I was prepared, I probably would have done a discount code or something so that people who tune into the stream can join via a discount code. Maybe I'll do that next week. So that it'll have like a couple of uses or something, and we'll just do it on stream. So will show my appreciation. Hope you all survive. Yeah, no, I hope you all survive it genuinely. And as much as I take the piss out of some people, like giving me grief for things, when I've lost fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's a little bit of a sting. It's like, I'm sorry, I was shilling my bags. I kind of didn't want them to die, but okay, you lost money, so did I. Yeah, I do genuinely feel bad for people who have actually got fucked, even if it is their own stupidity. Because in my first cycle, I lost. Well, I say I lost a lot. I put money in. I cashed out 10x what I put in, and then I let the rest pretty much slide, like minus 70, minus 80% before I eventually cashed it out, re-put it back in when I'd done my business plan, and as part of that process, develop the framework for which I still manage everything to this day. Maybe not as solidly as I used to, but certainly guiding principle. So I do understand it. Maybe not to the extent of somebody who's just bet their like life savings on a meme and got fucked, but yeah, it's not fun. It's but a flash wound. Exactly. And like I said, like the way that I view markets these days is very much, if it dies from here, right? If Bitcoin just does this and goes down to like 40k or something, and we get a nice accumulation range, brilliant. I'll fucking buy every Bitcoin I can, run it back up to 150k or something like that, even if it takes a few years. Job done. Easy as peas. The lost time that hurts the most after breaking even? Yeah, that's fair. But it's also the price of learning, right? It's the price of education. Generational bomb. Let's go. Let's go. I think we're up like 2% now, boys. 1.4. Alright. Yes, on that bombshell, I will love you and leave you. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for all liking and subscribing and doing all that kind of wonderful stuff. I do really appreciate it. And I will see you again next week. Au revoir.